Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to some Long Dark. How y'all doing today? Marley, hello. Tegeta, Anna Wright, Jacole, how are y'all today? I hope you're all having a good day. Things are going well for you on this Thursday. We are going to get back into our 50-day challenge. We're on day 62, so we're only 12 days into being in Timberwolf Mountain. We have another 28 days to go. So we've got a ways to go in Timberwolf before we can leave. But we've now sort of got ourselves situated a little better. We got rabbits. We've got some fish that we were able to harvest up as well. We got some fish here too. There's definitely some wolves out there, which is a little bit dangerous for us, but that's all right. We should be okay. We also have 51 matches, so we're doing good on matches as well. Hey, Teresa, hello. Bavella, how you doing? I'm gonna say Murillo. We're gonna go with Murillo. I think that's right. Let's go ahead and leave the fish traps in here. Let's see what do we have for wood right now? How are we doing on wood? We got 17. We got some cedar in there. We got a little bit of wood. We definitely need to go and hunt some wood up, that's for sure. Let's get some water in our belly. Yeah, we got those damn 3 wolves out there. Those wolves are bothering me, man. Those wolves are gonna be a pain in our side for a while. Because we have nothing. We have no way to get rid of them. I'm just hoping they don't turn into Timberwolves. That would be really bad. Let's go check on our rabbit traps over here. I think this is where we set them. Yes, we did. We only have 1 rabbit in them, and we got 1 that's broken. That kind of sucks. We'll have to make a new snare out of that one. Good news is we can snag these rabbits without really worrying about the wolves on the lake, which is good. Hey, Miss Pac-Man, hello. Could I get my car fixed? Yeah, it's in. I had to spend yesterday getting it over to the shop, getting it squared away. So that's why there was no stream yesterday. I had to work on getting arranging to get somebody to follow me over and then follow me back or bring me back home, and yeah, it was a whole big mess, but it's at the shop now and he's getting it squared away, so.
My head feel thick.
I know it is, but that's all right. Oh, look at all the stickity boos. I like that. But yes, we're back in the Long Dark today. Got car squared away yesterday, so I'm very happy about that. I'm gonna walk over this direction just while we're out here for the moment. Hey, Valverine, how you doing? Hello. I don't know if the moose is out over here or not, but I wanted to pick up a few things this direction if we could. There's some sticks and stuff over here. I don't see the moose marks over here, so I don't think... I don't even know. I don't even honestly know if the moose spawns over here anymore. I'm almost thinking he does not. Yeah, I'm not seeing any moose marks. There's a birch up here, though. We'll get that. Hopefully there's another birch bark. Yes, there is. There's a birch bark key for us. Yeah, we go. There we go. Back into the 100 days without bedroll challenge. Yep, pretty much. Well, and it may be even longer than that, because who knows if we'll even get a bedroll in Pleasant Valley. That's the big question mark right now. Is if we don't get a bedroll in Pleasant Valley, it's not gonna be the last thing, the most worst thing in the world. Because there's lots of places to hole up in Pleasant Valley. but it'll definitely mean that we need to head to, we need to probably head to Mystery Lake after Pleasant Valley, and then on to Forlorn Muskeg to do our forge run. Alrighty. Okay, we got the rose hips here we can grab. Boopity boo. Mainly just wanted to grab some sticks while we were out here. And there's always lots of sticks on the way to Pleasant Valley, so I figured we might as well get them. Yeah, I'm hoping we get it too, Tegeta. It'd be nice, but there's only a couple spots we can get it at in Pleasant Valley, so I'm not super confident we'll get one in Pleasant Valley. It's possible. It's possible to get one, but it's not real probable that we'll get one. But you know, hey, at least we have a chance there to get one. I mean, we don't have any chance to get one here, so at least we got a chance. So you're saying there's a chance? And no bedroll for me. I know, Lady Q. No bedroll for me at all. How you doing today, Lady Q? Hope you're having a good one. ID Swim on the YouTube side. Hello, hello. How's it going? Oh, we actually overburdened ourselves. How many sticks have we picked up now? Now we got 55 sticks. That's good. Oh, jeez. Thank you for the 100 bits there, Lady Q. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, there's a 50-50 shot, but hey, at least it's a chance. At least it's a chance, Tegeta. It's a lot better chance than we have here. Because as in Ash Canyon, there's a 0% chance of getting a bedroll for for us on Interloper. So
I might have to drop some gear.
Nah, you're good. We're just picking up sticks now, buddy. I'm doing good. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Where'd he come from? Where'd he come from? Okay, that's a wolf I'm unfamiliar with. Chatting on Twitch, watching on YouTube. Well, there you go. That works. Cindy, hello, hello. That was really weird. That was really strange. I did not expect a wolf right there. Very weird. All right, well that's okay. We're good. We're good. We fooled him. We outmaneuvered him. Yeah, let's get inside. Our hypothermia is getting us pretty bad here. We've lost a good 25% health. Not a good thing. I guess I should leave that out just in case. No, not you. Alright, all those wolves are way over there still. Okay. Let's get inside and get warmed up. Let's grab our rabbit. There we go. Okay. We good? We're good. We do need to make another rabbit trap. Or two. I'm almost thinking of making like 3 more rabbit traps and put them out there. I think we have enough. We have guts. We only have 2 guts though. We only have 2 guts. Oh wow. Oh, but we do it. We'll get a. We don't get a gut back from the. Yeah, we do not get a gut back from the trap that we're gonna break down. So let's break down this trap. Are they regular wolves or Timbies on the lake? They're just regular ones, thank goodness. Thank goodness they're regular wolves on the lake, Lady Q. If they weren't regular wolves, it would be a whole different story. Yeah, thank goodness. I do want to go back to the, back over to the Prepper's Cache at some point, because we do need to gather our stuff up there. Now, I'm not sure. I believe the ones on the lake can be Timberwolves, but I'm not 100% sure. I think they can be Timberwolves, but I don't know. Because I've not seen Timberwolves out on the lake before. They can switch them up? Oh, okay. Yeah, right now they're just regular, thank goodness. Hey, at least we're getting our vitamin C. I guess that's a good thing. You've seen them a couple times. Oh, no. Yeah, it'd just be a... If they were Timberwolves, I'd probably just stay in my house for a while. And be like, screw this, I'm not going out. Alright, we're just gonna leave him in here. We're gonna go drop these couple of traps off out here. Kind of go around the backside. I haven't had a lot of luck on the traps over here yet, but that's okay. I know there's rabbits there. I know that's where they spawn. We got one. I think it switched up when you temporarily leave the region and you're not doing that. Okay, good. Well, I could, you know, by going into a cave or something, I possibly could. Trying to hold them off while carrying 100 million tons of summit loot. Yeah. Yeah, that would be the worst, having all that loot from the summit on you and having those guys attack you. That would not be a good thing. Alright, let's just throw you all down here. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? How you doing? Back from shopping, get a bunch of items before the terrorists trickle down into the stores. Probably not a bad idea. All right, there we go. Let's get the gut and the hide down. Perfect. And there we go. Perfect. All right. Got all that stuff down. We got a little bit of meat on us to cook. Not much. That rabbit did not have a lot of... He didn't have a lot of good stuff on him. So we're just gonna drop that meat out here. There we go. Get the whitefish over here too. We can cook those up. So we got a whitefish, another whitefish. We got another whitefish, and we got one little bass. He's only 600 calories. Boo. Dropped a can of dog food on my foot in a store once. Darn near took my toes off. Ow! You aren't supposed to do that, Cindy. That's not how you're supposed to handle the dog food. I guess we can just rip this thing apart. I got all these shoes to rip apart. You're right on the edge of the can. Oh. Ow. My foot hurts just hearing about that.
Universe can stop me.
Just hearing about that makes my foot hurt. Hey, Roy Navy, how you doing? Welcome on in. All right, let's go ahead and sleep for 10 hours to get some health back. Hey, it's an Aurora tonight. All right, even in the morning, we're still warm in here. Not by much, but it's not bad. Now, if there was a blizzard going on, it might have been a little worse, but that's okay. Those are cured 50%. And we got these curing here, so we got a bunch of guts down. That's good. It's Aurora and Timberwolf Mountain. Let's go dancing. No. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it is an Aurora. We ain't going out there, though. Let's throw some of our sticks in here. We got 64 sticks now. Let's throw them all in there. Let's just grab out like 10 of them. I'm actually going to leave that in there because I want to make another couple of traps probably. Let's go ahead and prepare our birch barks up. We are a little bit on the hungry side. This is where food becomes a very big thing for us because I don't know. It's going to be interesting where we're going to get our food from. I don't know if the rabbit traps are going to provide for us as well as I hope. Let's throw you in there too. And then let's throw you in there as well. So we got 5 acorn grounds now. We do actually have the prep. Oh, Jesus.
I need to head out, but it was good to catch you. Take care, everyone.
Take care, Lady Q.
Raveheart.
Hey, Alexi, it's freaking Vert night for you as usual. Take care. We do have the recipe to make those, to make the prepper's pie. So, hey, Alf, how you doing? How are you today? I just missed work, so what's the plan for today? We got Long Dark here for the next about 3 hours, and then we're going to be going and playing a little bit of 7 Days to Die this afternoon as well. So, and then I'm off to work later this evening, but and while my car's in my shop, my mom's letting me borrow her car to get into work, so she's coming over to get me about 6 o'clock-ish or so, and we're going to go back to her place and have some dinner, and then I'm going to take her car and head into work, so. Wow, no rabbits here. That's concerning. I'm going to move these up the hill here. I don't know. We might be better off going up to the prepper's cache. Because these rabbits just do not seem to want to come and play. That is weird. That is weird. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that.
Looks like I made it through another night.
That is concerning. We did make it through another night. We've got a little bit of, let's see, there's a piece of cedar here we could still cut down, right? Yep. Grab these couple of sticks. You'll be okay, Will. Trust me. Everything's gonna be alright. What do you think we should do, Stickman? Think we should head over to the prepper's cache, see what we can get over there. Maybe grab a couple of those traps and take them over and set them over by the prepper's cache, or do we have traps over? But I think we might actually have traps at the prepper's cache already. We do have 41 cattails, which is good. Let's leave a few cattails here. And let's leave a few of these teas here as well. They just weigh a little bit there on us. I'll leave all but one because we can make 2 more. Got our water. I'm just thinking, what can we leave here that we don't need to take with us? I don't think I really need the heavy hammer. That's more for smashing into the ice than anything else. So that's just a little weight we can save on ourselves. So let's leave that here as well. There we go. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's grab The one thing we're missing is a piece of coal. Let's grab a piece of coal. I'd like to head up that way, but I don't think those wolves are gonna let me. I think, isn't there a rope over there that comes down, or is that not there? Let's go check that out. I think there's a rope that we could climb up to the area that I want to get to. I'd like to not use a torch if I don't have to. But if I got to, I got to. So just gonna kind of make a path up and then come back down as well. We'll come back down later on. It's good to move around. It's good to get out and get your legs going, you know. Actually, we can go this way to get to the prepper's cache. I forgot about that. Hey, Chad, how's it going? Now, we might hit some wolves along the way. We may hit a bear along the way. We'll have to just kind of keep our eyes open. But I think we can go this way without running into the cougar. Well, we'll come close to the cougar territory, but we won't actually hit the cougar territory. You know what I'm saying? I totally forgot to take the expedition parka with me from the summit. Got distracted. Oh no! So now you have to go back up to the summit again. That's not good. Okay, the bear's over there, that's fine. That goes down into Echo Canyon. We don't want to go down there. You gotta be careful around here. Last time we were over here, there was a pack of Timberwolves. So if we need to light up, we'll have to light up quick. But there's some birch bark over here too. So that's always nice. And then we can go this way and get to the prepper's cache. If you get to the crates here, just go to the side here and you'll get to the prepper's cache. No problem at all. Grab these sticks along the way, because why not? I think about it, maybe there's one in the car near Spruce Falls. We'll try that first. Oops, nope. There we go. I'm doing good, Chad. Not having a bad day at all. Get a little long dark in today. Now, tomorrow we're going to just do long dark, and that's pretty much going to be it. Because I got to work a little bit earlier tomorrow, so we're going to do long dark, and then I'm just going to be heading into work right after I get done streaming. So we'll do long dark for about 4 hours tomorrow, probably noon to 4-ish, somewhere around there. Today, though, we got long dark. We got a little 7 Days to Die. And then some mama time later on today. Mama time for me. I can't remember if I left traps over here or not. I guess it's worth a look. I think we might have grabbed him and taken him up to the summit with us, and then took him back down to our new spot with us. Now the prepper's cache is right up there past that, behind that rock formation. But we's gonna go this way real quick. Was there good loot at the summit? Well, I mean, we got a few pieces of clothing in Arizona. We did get our coats, which was nice. We got a ski jacket up there. We did get, a good fire striker, some more matches. Some of those necessary items that we've been needing for a little while. So, I mean, there's never on Interloper. There's nothing great at the summit. It's not like the summit loot is just amazing. Oh, we do have rabbit traps over here, and there's even a rabbit in them. Alright, well, we did have some rabbit traps up here. I thought we did. That rabbit's probably in pretty bad shape. But, overall the loot was okay, Arizona Ranger. It wasn't bad. Put it that way. It wasn't horrible. Oh, wait, was that rabbit already decayed? Oh, that rabbit was already garbage. What's up with this rabbit? He's at 1%. We can take his hide and his gut off of him. Yeah, the rabbits up here were already in bad shape, so... There's our guts and our hides. Alright, let's go up to the prepper's cache here. See what we got. I forget what we left up at the prepper's cache more than anything. At least we got a couple more guts, and we got that broken trap up here, so we can go ahead and make another trap with it. That's the nice thing is when you break the trap down, all you need is another gut. The wood is actually the... In my opinion, the wood is the harder of the items to get for the trap. Because it's reclaimed wood, and especially in a zone like this, where there's very limited reclaimed wood. The guts are a lot easier to get a hold of than the wood is. Yep, I figured I'd sprain something there. Hey, Sylvius, how you doing? Always seems I sprained something coming around that corner. I don't know why. Oh, we got venison here. Nice. Well, look at that, boys and girls. I forgot we had venison there. Nice. Up to the sprain bunker. Yep. Up to the sprain bunker. Exactly. All right, let's see what we got here. I know we got some hides on the walls back here. We got some guts down. Those ones are still curing. That one's cured. Now, we could go ahead and go up and see if we can chase another deer into a wolf up there. That is always an option. Let's just drop use here. Alright, that's the only other deer hide there. Okay. I remember the days when it was always the first place to go to get a flare gun. Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, Kenneth, Timberwolf Mountain used to be, like, the place to go. It was like, you always, whenever you started a run, you'd be like, okay, how soon are we going to make it to the mountain so we can get the flare gun, get the good loots up there. And now it's just kind of like, yeah, it's okay. It's aight. Yeah, them taking the flare gun away from Timberwolf Mountain kind of made it less exciting to come here. Let's put the guts right there. I wish they at least left, like, the flare gun and maybe, like, 2 or 3 shells up here, because then it would be, like, way more exciting. But they moved all the flare gun and the shells into the far territory now, which kind of sucks. There we go. I just remember you speedrunning to the ravine basin for the stem. Oh yeah. The ravine basin was always a great place to go. That was an amazing place to go. The ravine and then also to the summit. Both of those were like really important early in the game, but now not so much. They don't hold much importance anymore. Let's just fill you up with a little bit of lamp oil that we got. There we go. Got my rosehip teas in there. I think we have a few more birch bark we can make up. One more anyway. Keep that birch bark tea a-flowing. Let's see. I don't know as if we have... Okay, we have one birch bark tea on us right now. Do we have any other heavy teas on us? Oh, wow, we do actually have a bunch of other heavy teas on us. Okay, we should drink those down. Drink those down next time we're thirsty. That'll make them tiny. Make them tiny teas. And our clothing's all in pretty decent shape. Our coats are taking a little... Our shirts are a little bit damaged, but that's okay. I'm going to let these just kind of wear down. We'll probably just eventually destroy these if we don't have the cloth. We need cloth to repair that and our underwear. But I'm waiting until it can't go to 100% anymore. Like this one here. See how this is at 64? We'll only get 30% back. And we got a successful, so it's back up to 94%. That's how you want to repair early game. Okay, 65, so that would get that back to 95. I think that's most of our cloth now, yep. Yeah, I don't think we have... Yeah, we have no more cloth on us. We got like 4 pieces of cloth left back at the... back there. Getting our coats repaired was nice, though. That helps us out a lot with warmth. I could repair these as well. Repair my rabbit skin gloves, because we have lots of rabbit skins. Actually, though, do I want to do that? Is that going to waste... Oh, wait, I may want to save the guts. Hold on. Okay, I got 3... Okay, I got 3 cured guts still. Okay, that's cool. I was like, wait a second, I might want to save the guts. These I will over-repair just because it gives us repair skill-ups. And we got plenty of rabbit skins and stuff, so... Why not? Hey, there we go, Mending 2, as a matter of fact. Look at us. Look at us with Mending 2. Okay, so we do have... Oh, wow. Oh, I forgot I had all this stuff up here, too. Yeah, we got all the peaches, tomato soups. Got a bunch of peaches and tomato soups there. We got a little bit of coal here as well.
Damn, that's smart.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we have this stupid sprain on us, don't we? We gotta sleep for 4 hours to get rid of it. That sucks. All right, we got a couple pieces of rabbit meat here. Let's see if we caught any rabbits out here. Hey, Farmer Marks, how you doing? I'm not gonna use a bandage to repair my broken leg or my sprained leg. That'd just be a waste of bandages. I don't see any rabbits down the traps down there. They're kind of hard to see. I'll kind of turn this way. If you look off to that side of the screen, you can sort of see them down there. I don't see any rabbits in them right now, so... Oh, wait, did I get my... nope, okay, I got out of it. Good, good, good. Yeah, you just need to chill out, buddy. We got some fresh venison here, which is nice. Are all these big pieces? Oh, those are all big pieces. Nice. And then we got a couple pieces of rabbit here, too, that we could cook up. Let's Let's see how many sticks we got. We do have some cedar here. What do we got stick-wise? 62 sticks, not too bad. We got 4 pieces of cedar as well. And we got 3 pieces of coal. We'll just kind of leave those over here as well. Alright, alright, alright. What time of day is it? It's still early. Maybe we can get 4 hours of sleep here and then get up and go do something. It won't be much, but at least we could go do something for a few minutes. Sucks getting a sprained ankle. Sucks getting a sprained ankle and not being able to, like, heal ourselves. I just don't want to waste the bandage on it more than anything. That's the main thing. It's just I don't want to waste the bandage. Well, now that it's actually we actually got most of our energy back. I think I might try going up and seeing if I can get a wolf to go into a deer. Let's grab our raw rabbit meat. Our raw rabbit meat. No luck with the traps, but that's okay. The rabbit meat hopefully will help us draw a wolf over to the deer. That's the main reason I want to have a little stank on me. Now, it's also going to bring the wolf that's over here out to greet us. I don't see him, though. Where is he? Is he hiding? Okay, that's really weird. Here, Wolfie, Wolfie. No, Marley. No, 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 no. Nope, nope, nope. No here, Wolfie, Wolfie. No, we don't do that. We don't hear Wolfie, Wolfie. Hey, look, we left some sticks down here. Alright, we're gonna light the torch up because there may be a wolf at the top of this rope. And I don't want to run into him. Well, I mean, I don't want to run into it without a lit torch. Let's put it that way.
Feels like night is coming.
Hello, Mr. Wolfie boy. Oh, there you are. Like, where'd he go? I knew he'd be over here.
To find some place to escape this cold.
I'm sorry, Mr. Deer. You must be sacrificed. Hey, Yumiko, how you doing? I'm sorry, Mr. Deer. You must be sacrificed upon the altar of the... of the wolf. Mr. Wolfie, no. Drop my decoys, wait for him to...
Never felt so cold in my life.
Sort of need him to come back over this way. Oh, he's going for him? It looks like he's going for him. But he's just being very slow about it. No, stop going that way. You stupid deer. Oh, God. He's after him. He's got him. He's got him, boys. Come on. No, don't go up on the hill. Don't go up on the hill. No. Oh, that's not gonna be good, is it? No, that's not gonna be good, is it? You little turd. You turd of a wolf. You went up on the hill where I told you not to go. Gosh, dang it. Ugh. Durable ingredients zero durability ingredients cannot be used for cooking. Do you think it's a bug? Actually, they confirmed, Yumiko, that it's not.
Come on.
I think it's a wrong decision, but it's not a bug from what we understand. They confirmed in the new patch notes, I guess, that it's not a bug. Which I think is wrong. I think that is completely a bad choice on their part. But yeah, unfortunately it's not a mistake. I wish I could tell you it was. Let's heat up a birch bark tea, and let's get a little water going here. Drink up this birch bark tea. That'll help us get a little health back. Yeah, we were hoping, Yumiko, that it was a glitch, that it was just that it was just, something that got messed up in the programming. But unfortunately, it's not. Unfortunately, it is not something that got mixed up. I wish it was, believe me. Ruined food should be cookable just with an increase in food poisoning risk. I wouldn't even mind it if it had a chance of food poisoning for people who had cooking 5, to be honest. I just think it's easier for them not to program that in. It'd just be harder for them to program that, you know what I'm saying? They just look at that as kind of a programming nightmare more than anything. Oh my god, no. Oh god, no. Oh good lord, this is bad. This is very not good. Well, there are exceptions to it. There are exceptions to it, Flip and Stick. So here's the exception. If you have a... Oh, Jesus criminy. I better go. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is very not good. We're overlooking the word ruined here. Well, the main I can't hide in the transfer cave, unfortunately. The main problem with that Miss Pac-Man is that on like interloper difficulty level, everything is ruined so quickly that by the time I get to that stuff, it's already ruined for me. So it's one of those where it kind of sucks because it's already ruined. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Is that I mean, if they made it so ingredients for food didn't wear out so fast, I wouldn't be that bad. I wouldn't be that, you know, adamantly opposed to it. But especially on Interloper, your ingredients are usually gone by the time you run into them anyway. So it kind of sucks. Yeah, like potatoes and carrots. Now, here's the thing, Yumiko. If they make those available from the trader, I won't care. If we could buy potatoes and carrots, or trade for potatoes and carrots from the trader, I'd be okay with it. Because that would at least give us an alternative to, you know, way to get them. Because now we can get flour, and we can get flour from the trader, so they may have it in mind that they're gonna make it so, we can trade that stuff with the trader and get it from him. Now, if they do that, I'm all for it. It's like, yeah, okay, well, that's cool. That just means we have to find it early, or we have to, you know, it sort of forces us to trade to get it later on in good condition. And that I wouldn't mind so much. But right now, you can't get potatoes and carrots from the trader. You can get a few other items, but you can't get those from him. This is bad. I mean, we already got flour on the trader list, so they have sort of taken a step in the right direction there. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. This is very bad, not good. Why did it have to be in Aurora tonight, of all nights? I mean, I love the Auroras, don't get me wrong. Just, I don't love trying to cook up a deer in an Aurora. That is not a good activity at all. Yeah, there's the wolf out there, too. See if we can skate around this cliff without attracting him. Oh, God. Because it's me, I know. Everybody's all like, streamer luck all the time. It's like, yeah, streamer luck. I get an Aurora right on the one night I want to be cooking. That's when I get an Aurora. So yeah, Yumiko, I think there's a chance we could get it down the road. I've already, you know, emailed them and let them know, you know, hey, it'd be really nice because we can't cook with ruined stuff anymore. If you put all of the items, you know, that can be ruined that we need to cook with on the trader list, that would be great. Because otherwise it just feels a little punishing, especially for Interloper players, to not be able to get those items at all in good shape. Because at least you knew before, if you came into the, you know, Tales from the Far Territory, you could get a can of corn. It may be in bad shape, but at least you could cook with it. Or you'd find some carrots or some potatoes, and yeah, they may be ruined, but at least you could cook them. And make some, you know, get the recipes out of them. But now you can't even do that. So it's like, oh. Alright, we made it back okay. Whew, I think my heart can stop pounding out of my chest now. Jeez Louise, man. Whew. Luckily, that one wolf was over near us, which is kind of funny that it's lucky that he was near us because we were able to kind of avoid him by him being near us. All right, we got 29 sticks.
Mouth so dry.
Character so annoying. All right, now we can eat. Well, you always want to eat your meat first. It's been discussed in the forums, but they haven't given a definite reply. Yeah. And they probably won't for a little while, to be honest. They probably won't. All right, we're all happy and refreshed from our good night's sleep. Got another ruined trap here. A ruined snare. So our snares are slowly but surely getting ruined. You cooked with both oats and potatoes in zero condition. Now, Flippin' Stick, did you happen to have good condition oats and good condition potatoes in your inventory as well? Because there is a kind of a glitch to get around the zero condition, and what it is that if you have, say, a potato at 0, and you have a potato at 20%, and you pick up the 0% potato, and then you pick up the 20% potato, and then you cook, it'll use the lowest condition one, even though it's a 0%, it's still registering, oh, you have a good condition potato, so it's like, oh, well, then you can cook it. So if you have something that's in good condition in your inventory, it'll still let you cook the zero condition items. It's a glitch, and I don't know if they're gonna close that off and make it go away, but it is a glitch that they have going right now. So I don't know if that may have been what you may have had oats or potatoes that were in good shape in your inventory as well, but I don't know. And honestly, I've had times where it would let me use the bad condition stuff. So it's not like always 100% that it doesn't let you use it. It's kind of goofy, to be honest. I think it's a bad thing. I think they need to let us use the 0% stuff. Like flour's okay ruined. Yeah, it's kind of hit or miss. It really is. I think the oats are okay ruined as well. It's mainly the potatoes and the carrots that are the annoying ones. That and some of the canned good items, canned foods like the corn, the peaches, that sort of stuff. grab all of yous. Yeah, we're already cold. Let's go ahead and get a fire started here. Use one of our mini steaks. Our mini steaks. Excuse you. Excuse you, fire. You're supposed to start up like a champ. You aren't supposed to just sit there and not burn.
Come on.
Come on. Come on, little fire. There we go.
Life out here.
It is life. Let's go ahead and throw that piece of coal on there, and then we'll throw some sticks on it. Yum, 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 yum. Alright. That's not enough time to get warmed up, so let's go ahead. Let's drop down a large tea or two. Let's drop down another one as well. There we go. Alright. Get you on there. A little water going over here. Drink down a hot tea. There we go. Oh, now I can't. There we go. Like, why can't I touch him? 15. Let's do 30 minutes. Every time they fix some bugs, new bugs appear, which is really a little frustrating. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, they're changing huge swaths of code in the game, so it kind of makes sense that that would happen. You got a game as big as Long Dark is. There's gonna be some unintended consequences when you put either new stuff in or you make stuff different in the game than it was before. There'll always be a few things that get messed up, unfortunately. Alright, let's go ahead and put you on there, you on there. Drink you down for a little bit more warm-up. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab the hide this time. I think we can do it faster with our hands. Yep. We got Carcass Harvesting 5, so we can harvest 100% frozen carcasses with our hands. And it's always faster to take the hide with your hands than it is with any other thing. You can, well, I guess it's just as fast to take it with a knife, but if you do that, if you do it with a knife, then you're using up the knife. And your hands never wear out, so why not do it with your hands? Alright, we'll do the hacksaw there. And one gut, 31 minutes, that's perfect. Compilation of bugged out animals is is my favorite for Long Dark, not fun for the players though. Yeah, well, you know, that between that and the annoying cougar. Got 40 minutes on you. I don't have very long on you. You're a small piece, aren't you? Yeah, 13 minutes there. You know what? Let's do that. We'll grab the gut here. I think the gut will only take us like, what, 21 minutes? That's perfect. That's good. That means this whole deer's done. Deer done. And we didn't take any cold damage from it either, so that is nice. Okay, so that is definitely done. Let's eat you up, because you're just a small piece. And yeah, let's go ahead and get you done. I should probably be smart. As much as I want to stay here and make water, I should probably be smart about this and travel now while the weather is calm before the storm sets in, because there is a storm coming. There is a storm. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my bones. I always have the same bug in the maintenance shed where the desktop vanishes where all the stuff was stored. Yeah, there's a few bugs. Hello, Mr. Woofy. Where are you? Oh, you're right there. I do have one flare for emergency situations, so if we get in a really dire situation, we do have a flare. So we could Ric Flair the thing. Woo! We're a little too heavy for the rope, but luckily for us, we have a way down over here into the three-way cave, so that's good. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Hello, hello.
Can't feel my hands.
That's all right. You'll be fine. Trust me. You'll be okay. Up that way is the summit. Down this way is the three-way cave. We're going to go down this way to the three-way cave because it's the three-way cave, and we like that. I am going to get out another torch, though. Because we won't run into a wolf down here, but we probably will run into a wolf getting back to the old prepper's cache. We do have quite a bit of meat on us. We could probably live here a few days, but I've got all those traps out over by the trappers or over by the Mountaineer's hut now. So we'll probably head over to Mountaineer's hut tomorrow, pick up all of our traps. I honestly think that staying here at the prepper's cache is a better option than staying at the Mountaineer's hut, mainly because we have the deer nearby. Yeah, I know I keep spreading stuff, but that's okay. I have the deer nearby that I can chase wolves into, or deer into wolves, either way. And there's also guaranteed rabbit hunting here, where the rabbit hunting so far at the Mountaineer's hut's been kind of mid, to say the best. At best, it's been mid. At worst, it's been pretty awful. Super slider snow skates are needed in the game? Yes, they are. I couldn't agree more.
Feels so good.
You don't look so good either. Heyo! Burn!
That's a bit, but I'll make it.
No, you won't. Yes, you will. I'll be your confidence. The slider snow skates, never had them.
Damn, that's
We don't get much snow in Oregon, so there's no need for slider snow skates. We never had slider snow skates around here. We aren't Canada. We aren't Canada, so we don't have those. Now, if you're talking about roller skates, like the roller skates that attach to your shoes, yes, I do remember those. Yeah, we didn't have anything like that for snow. We get snow like one day out of the year. So that sort of stuff never made its way here. That's more of a regional thing for places that actually get snow. Hello, Mr. Wolfie. And since we don't get snow, it never really was a big deal for us. You did grow up on another planet. Well, you're in Canada, so that is another planet. Canada is another planet. I think the 80s hit back there in like what 1990 98 or so. Is when the 80s finally hit you guys. It's like you're in a different you're in a different time. See, it's not even a different planet. It's like you're in a different time. You need activities to keep the blood flowing. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. That way the blood wouldn't coagulate like maple syrup.
I don't feel so good.
Which I think if you tap a Canadian like you tap a tree, I think most Canadians would give you maple syrup instead of blood. I'm just saying. I have not seen that been proven wrong yet, so I've not seen it proven either way, really. But I think you would get maple syrup from a Canadian if you did tap them. Do a little tap on them, get a little maple syrup out them. I know that's what makes you so sweet. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they do not. The wolves love all that meat that I'm carrying right now. But hey, you know what? That's gonna give me some good food up here. Oh, and here's the storm. See, what did I tell you? There was a storm a-coming. There was a storm a-brewing, boys and girls. I knew it. I felt it in my bones. I felt it in my bones, everybody. Called it. Yeah. I had a feeling that was coming. It felt too nice outside. Alright, deer hide's nice and cured. Let's drop the guts here. And let's drop our hide. Drop our hide out here. But Chris, how you doing today? I hope you're having a good one. Welcome on in. There's a fresh deer hide there for us. Beautiful. Go into the safe house mode here. No, I felt the storm in my bones. I felt. Come on now. I'd have a storm in my bone. Whoa, hey now. Ooh, we barely got that torch lit. Okay. Alright, that worked. That worked out. That worked okay. Oh, I needed to take that off the wall, didn't I? Boink. Yank.
Damn, that's smarts.
Woo! There we go.
So good.
By the way, every time you go in and out of safe house customization, you oh shoot, can I not grab it? Oh man, I buried it underneath everything. Every time you go in and out, you get a save point. So that's kind of nice. You go out of it, you get a save point. See, we just got a save point like that. So you can get save points nice and easily when you're inside buildings if you want to. All right, let's not mess it up this time.
I think I need to lay down.
Let's put it that away. There we go.
I'm gonna need some first aid soon.
Perfect. I don't need first aid. You can suffer with a little bit of a damaged leg. All right, let's do that. Been thinking now that we have so much more items to work with, you could make sticks. Make a stick? What make? Well, what do you mean, Kenneth? Now, Cindy, you should know you never use punctuation in chat. Punctuation in chat just never goes well for anybody.
Feels so good.
There we go. We got all our food out here. I know. You should know better. It's all right. It's all right. Let's go ahead. I shouldn't have drank all of that because I should be taking some of this stuff. Tomato soup's getting down there. That's all right. We need to let's break down our stuff here. We got a couple things to break down. We got some torches to break down. We got some traps to break down. I think tomorrow we'll grab some of our meat and we'll head back down to the Mountaineer's hut. But I think what we'll do is we'll go down through the three-way cave and then go through that cave and see if we can find any more pieces of coal in the cave there. And then once we get down to the Mountaineer's hut, what we can do is we can check our traps. And then we can make our decision, do we want to come up here and trap more? See, the main thing up here is that we use our firewood to trap and to cook up the meat from the traps. Down there, we have to spend firewood fishing, which is it's much less payoff to fish. Fishing is not as good a payoff as you'd think. It really, truly isn't. You got fat fingers? Oh, that's okay. All right, just get some sleep. Get some of our health back tonight. Yeah, I always had fat fingers when I type, Kenneth. I'm always typing fat finger everything. All right, we got that down. Let's go ahead and just drink our water. 64 days. We should have about 14 in this zone now. Yep, 14 days in Timberwolf now. So we're getting there. I'm going to eat the tomato soup because I don't lose any calories from smashing it open. And I don't really need the can. So let's get our 300 calories there. And I'll eat the candy bar. There we go. Yeah, I also now have cooking 5 as well. So I have carcass harvesting 5, cooking 5, fire starting is halfway to 4, ice fishing is barely in the 2, archery, we actually have archery almost to 2, and mending just hit 2. We just got to 2 with mending, which is nice because that means when we go to fix stuff up, we now get a greater repair, and we have a 85% chance of repairing most of our stuff, which is really super nice. All right, let's get a little more sleep. Speaking of sleep, gosh, I'm tired for some reason. I don't know why. Been having a hard time sleeping lately. I don't know. I get to sleep at like 11 o'clock or so, but then I sleep till like 5, and I wake up, and then I can't get back to sleep again. It's really annoying. It makes me kind of annoyed, actually. Okay, we got some cured guts. Nice. Got some cured rabbit hides. Nice. We'll leave those guts and hides up here. It's still nighttime, though, so let's see. Is there anything else I can do in the dark? I could prepare those up, but I'm not really preparing them any longer. The main reason to prepare these is to cook them, and I may want to trade them later to the trader, so I'm kind of hanging on to them at the moment. Don't really have anything to do, so let's just go ahead and pass a little time, and then we'll get a little sleep. We'll pass time and sleep. Wait till the sun's fully up. There we go. And then we'll grab a couple hours of sleep. Perfect. All right. Do we want to leave a little bit of fuel up here? Where are we at? 32 kilos right now. We got one piece of cedar. Yeah, I think I'll just kind of leave a few of the sticks and stuff up here. Just so we have them when we come back. Plus, sticks weigh a lot. And then I'm going to take the reclaimed wood with me, because I want to have that down at the base. Down at our base. Let's eat up. I'm tired today, too. Today. Didn't want to get up this morning. Maybe still that hour missing from daylight savings time change. Oh, yeah. I hear you there. Let's take 5. Let's take 5 pieces with us. That sounds good. I want to avoid this wolf if I can. Oh, that's not the way I want to go. Yep, I knew it. I knew it.
Need to find some place to escape this cold.
Bye-bye, sucker! Yeah, I knew he was going to be behind me. Now that I'm on a real keyboard, what I meant to say is now that you can hang hides and such on the wall, you can flush out Stickman, give him a rabbit skin loincloth. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I got you now. We could do that, although I don't know how it works about I don't know if you can put stuff over where you've painted or not. I've never tried that before. That'd be interesting to see if we could. I don't know. Whoa. What the heck just happened? What the? I did not push any buttons at all. What the heck? Hold on. What the heck was that? Why is it giving me all this weird pop-up stuff all of a sudden from Steam? What was that? That was weird. Am I being hacked right now? I don't know. Maybe I am. I might be being hacked, boys and girls. If we go down in a couple minutes, it's because I was hacked. That's at least what I'm going to say. I think there's still a dead deer right around the corner or two. Yes, there is, and she has more feathers for us. Feathers and more feathers. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Give that guy some designer furs. Yeah, we can give him designer furs. See, there's even a rabbit down here. Run, bunny, run. Run for your life. Or Atheenon might kill you. Which would not be good. Saw that happen to another Long Dark streamer earlier. Yeah, that was weird. It's like I didn't touch anything. I mean, I swear I did not touch a dang thing. Yeah, we want to light it with another torch. I just want to grab some good torches out of this. Because we need to torch walk down to the Mountaineer's hut. Oh, get a good stretch in there. Oh my goodness, my back. Oh, that felt good. Oh.
Turned out pretty well.
All right, let's get some sticks in there. All right, let's go ahead and break these torches down real quick. And then I'll grab torches out of the fire. There we go. All right. So we'll be able to get 5 torches out of the fire here. Because each torch takes 10 minutes off. So you have to have at least 10 minutes. We're getting a lot of pop-ups on other sites lately, maybe something to do with AI. The AI is taking over, Kenneth. You know it is. The AI is taking over the world. It's like Pinky in the Brain. Damn it, no coal. There's usually not a lot of coal in this cave anyway, but I was hoping for a couple pieces at least. That would have been nice. Now we could go check the cave over towards Blackrock. We can't go into Blackrock, but we could check it out and see if we could, you know, get any coal in there. Now I could, in theory, I believe I can chop this limb down. I could, in theory, chop that limb down there. That'd be much better to do, though, if we don't have a torch going, because we need to make a fire to get that going on. I could just chop all the limbs down in here. It might be a smart idea. Captain Kirk said it many years ago. Pull the plug spot. Pull the plug. Spot. Spork. And no coal in that cave. That makes me very sad. Makes me very sad. I'm just gonna drop the meat here. We're gonna jump over to the cave over here real quick. I see a wolf right over there who's coming towards us. I just don't want to draw any more. Oh, Jesus, there's a bear right there. Never mind. I didn't realize there could be a bear. I had no idea. Never mind. And we're going. And we're leaving. Wow, the bears are in different spots here too. Well, I know there's a moose now that's around the bottom of the that rope right over there. Wish they had not canceled original series Star Trek. Well, you know, most of television, especially, you know, television's always about the money. And it was just not, it wasn't doing what they needed it to do, I guess. It's all about the Benjamins, man. All about the Benjamins. But yeah. It became a cult classic, that's for sure. Science fiction, though, has always got the kind of short end of the stick on television. Even though something like Knight Rider was really popular, Knight Rider was more of a mystery of the week that had some science fiction elements in it. Most of the sci-fi shows that have done well, back in like the 70s and 80s, they were sci-fi shows that had they had science fiction in them, but they weren't really hardcore sci-fi like Star Trek or something like that. I mean, it changed a little bit when Star Wars came out. People got a little more accepting of it. But even stuff, you look at like Battlestar Galactica. Look at most of the sci-fi shows back then. They lasted a couple seasons and they were gone. They were good for a couple seasons and then bye-bye. Lost quality of writing, which made the first 2 seasons remarkable. Well, you think about writing a sci-fi show, though, too. Think about writing a science fiction show compared to writing, say, like a serial crime drama. A serial crime drama, yeah, you have to make the stuff up, but at the same time, there's a lot more real-world stuff to draw on for that than there is for science fiction. Science fiction, you're really writing... You got to be super outside of the box to keep things kind of fresh, And that can't be an easy feat to do. I mean... Oh god, this could be bad. This could be very bad. If the wind blows our torch out. Oh god. I don't want to look back. I don't want to look back. Okay, we're gonna look back. Yep, torch went out. Torch went out. Torch is out. We've lost the torch. We've lost the torch. We just got to get up here to our little home, and we'll be okay. Everything's gonna be fine, boys and girls. It's all gonna be fine. Well, yeah, that's the thing is that especially Bavella back then, everything was Planet and Alien of the Week, because they serialized shows were not really. That wasn't really a thing. It was mostly Planet and Alien of the Week back then, because that's pretty much what they, knew to write. Plus, television was way different back then, too. Television was all about, you sometimes would have a 2-parter, it would be like, wait for next week. But see, that's the thing, is there was always a week between episodes. And so... they didn't really serialize things like they do today, where, every episode leads to the next episode, leads to the next episode, because the model was so different back then for broadcast television that they really couldn't do that. Just different times. Yeah, the cliffhangers were awesome. Well, whenever they had like a 2-parter, that was like a huge deal, because it was always like, oh my god, they're leaving us with a cliffhanger. It's going to carry over into next week's episode. Which was just wild, Alright, let's go check out our rabbit traps over here. But that was the exception, not the norm back then. Pretty much the norm now is everything leads to another episode. Alright, we got four rabbit traps there that caught. We got no rabbits here. Alright, we're gonna set back all these traps for right now. We should have 8. Oh, we have 9. Okay. Oh, we have 10. Alright, we're good. We're good. Okay. Can I pick that rabbit carcass up? God, they need to fix the hitboxes on animal carcasses. So annoying. Close that up quick. Okay, good. We're good. We're good. Ooh, my heart was pounding there. That was dangerous. That was some dangerous stuff right there, my friends. Let's go ahead and use that for the meat and the guts. Oh, there is a wolf running around outside. There's a wolf running around out there, a little bugger. A little bugger. He's just running around out there going, "Hey, Atheenon, can I come in and play?" No. You are not allowed to come in and play. We'll cook everything up at once. I don't want to cook it up before. Seasons back then were like 40 episodes of seasons. Oh yeah. Yeah, seasons were long back then. I mean, yeah, now seasons are like 9 episodes. And I think some of that comes from the increasing costs in producing those seasons. Back then seasons were pretty easy. It was more about quantity instead of like, you know, and it wasn't expensive to do a lot of the stuff they were doing. Now they're trying to all have the fanciest, you know, visual effects and the fanciest everything, you know, and the actors all get paid an enormous sum of money, and so I think they've toned down. I think part of that has to do with how they, you know, have to spend so much more money on their seasons nowadays than they used to. Because most of the actors back then weren't getting paid a whole lot of money. I mean, they just weren't. The studios were the ones making the big bucks back then. The actors got famous, but they didn't make a lot of cash on the front end. If they made a lot of cash on the front end, why do they all have to do science fiction conventions where they're signing autographs for 25 bucks a pop? I mean, I know some of them love it, but I bet you most of them would not be doing it if they'd made millions upon millions back in the day. There's another one roaming around outside right now. Alright. Let's harvest up the last couple rabbits we got here. I'm just gonna harvest it with my hands. No use wasting our tool on it. I'm okay on the meat. We're good. We're good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I know you're a little hungry, buddy, but we'll take care of that in a minute. Just chill out. Honestly, Hollywood can eat it. We need something else. Well, and that's happening. Yeah, Shatner and Nimoy did not make big money off Star Trek until the movies came out. Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, you know, not Nimoy so much, but Shatner was in a lot of stuff after Star Trek. I mean, he had several shows that he starred in. I mean, T.J. Hooker was the biggest one, which I still laugh at that name. T.J. Hooker. So what's his profession? He's T.J. Hooker. You take a guess. All right, we do need to eat. I need to drop this meat out here. Well, I think a lot of times they're trying to get like big name actors and stuff to be in their shows, and so they pay them lots of money, and they kind of let the quality go, or they take shortcuts on the you know. They're trying to do too much. It's like, just make a good story and people will come and watch it. I mean, you look at stuff like Twilight Zone that didn't have really great special effects back in the day. People watched it because it was great. It was great stories. They were engaging, they were thought-provoking, they were interesting, people liked them. And that's the thing, is like, hey, Taygetta, thank you so much for the €12. Having to go to bed now, Byath. Hope your long working night passes fast. See you, bye. Bye. Thank you so much, Taygetta. I hope you get some good rest as well. Hope you get some good rest tonight, too. And I think that's part of the thing, too, is that, you know, studios are not... The writing has gone down a lot lately. A lot. And unfortunately, that's going to hurt your product overall. Because that's what, regardless of special effects or the actor that's in it, or any of that sort of stuff, we are very much a story driven. We're very much story driven when it comes to our entertainment. We want good stories. We want tales that inspire us, tales that make us think. Tales that you know, it comes back to almost like a primitive kind of thing back in the Stone Age days when we'd sit around a campfire and tell each other tales, or you'd sit around the tavern and listen to the bards spin the tale of, you know, the yarn of whatever. It's all about the story when it comes down to it, and I think a lot of the modern day storytellers are very lacking in their ability to tell good stories. And I think a lot of it comes from they don't know what a hero and a villain is anymore. The line for them is so muddled between hero and villain that they don't know how to do it. Every hero is flawed and every villain is sympathetic. Which in the end, which is kind of interesting in the beginning, but in the end, that's just bad. That's bad. People just don't want to hear that all the time. We don't want to hear that our heroes are always flawed and the villains are always sympathetic and they aren't really responsible for what they're doing because something bad happened to them in their childhood that drove them to do it. It's just one of those things. It's one of those storytelling tropes that has gotten really old as of late. And back in the 70s and 80s and even the 90s and even in the early 2000s, villains were bad guys. Good, heroes were good guys. We knew the distinction between them, and there was not this moralistic gray ground that we were trying to like straddle all the time. Which, yes, I know that's not realistic, but that's what we want in our stories. Our stories are not. We are surrounded by real life all day long, 24/7. We go to our stories and our entertainment to escape from that, to get a relief, even a temporary relief from that. And in those moments, we want our heroes to be heroes. We want our villains to be well defined, and we want them to be villains because we like that. And yes, is that realistic? No, we all know it's not realistic, but that's what we go to escapism for. We don't escape to go to just another reality where it's exactly the same as the reality we live in. If I wanted to do that, I'd just stay in the real world and not ever go to any sort of, entertainment or alternative to the real world. Well, and that's true. A lot of the Hollywood writers don't have real life experiences, other than like I said, a lot of them, I think, Kenneth, have been taught that there are no real there's no true heroes or villains in the world. Everyone is a shade of gray, and that's what they've been taught to write. They've been taught that that's how things are, and that's what they need to write because they've been taught that their writing needs to reflect the real world. They've lost a lot of their imagination. And that's where real good storytelling comes from, is imagination. You don't get there's a reason there's a thing called fiction and there's also non-fiction. And there's a distinct difference between the two, because fiction is a different thing to write than non-fiction. And I think a lot of them would be better suited as fiction writers and not non-fiction writers. Or they'd be better suited as non-fiction writers instead of fiction writers. Because they write non-fiction pretty well. They just don't know how to write fiction. They just don't. Which is okay. I mean, we need good non-fiction writers out there, but they're hiring all these non-fiction writers to write fiction items, and that doesn't work real well. Tylea with a 60 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Tylea, for the 60 months in a row. And by the way, how did you like the Doom character creator? I heard that's open. I saw you mess around with that.
Thailand Singer just resubscribed for 60 months.
Well, and I think that is true. I think that a lot of the real world experiences they had, Kenneth, really made them want to tell stories where there were definitive heroes and villains in it. And because most of our stories, you got to remember, most of our stories, especially back in the day, they were sort of I wouldn't say moralistic, but a lot of them were told in a way to teach a lesson, to show, to basically kind of tell you, hey, you shouldn't act this way, or in society you shouldn't act this way. A lot of them were told from that standpoint. You just did it today, you're loving it. Nice. I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out in May, so it's gonna be May. Well, and the same thing for, like, Tolkien. Tolkien wrote very much in the same way. I mean, where he was in World War I and saw a lot of the worst and the best of humanity and a lot of the worst and best stuff that could happen to people, and wrote about it. But he wrote about it in a way that, was a lot of that can be reflected in his writing, so. But that's what a lot of the old writing was it was tales that told a tale that would basically teach a lesson or tell a story that had a moral to it. And even writing, modern writing, a lot of that, you look at a lot of the, Star Trek Next Generation. There was a lot of stories that they told in Star Trek Next Gen that had like a overarching moral to it. I think, though, that the difference between it, here's the thing, is that even old stories, like Hansel and Gretel, and even a lot of the old tales like that, they told a tale that had a moral to it, but they left it up to you to sort of like make the moral conclusion of, okay, this is what this story is talking about. They didn't basically tell you what to think. They told you, hey, here's the series of circumstances, you know, and go forth from there. And make up your own mind. We'll kind of guide you towards it, but your mind is your own. You can make up your own mind about it. Thank you, Cake Bar, for the 41 months. And Rob Star, how you doing? Thank you, Cake Pirate. I appreciate that. 41 months, my man. Oh my goodness.
Cag Pirate just
And
resubscribed for 41 months.
I think story
time to do a drunken pirate dance.
It's time to do a drunken pirate dance, yeah, baby. Because I think the storytellers of old knew one true fact that has never changed throughout history. People don't like to be preached to. People don't like to be. People like to have, even if it's an illusion. People like to have the idea that they came to a conclusion themselves. Like they took the information and they arrived at the conclusion on their own. And I think a lot of old stories let people arrive to the conclusion. You know, there was a very obvious conclusion to the story, but it let people arrive at that conclusion on their own. It didn't at the end moralize and say, this is the right way to think. Which I think that's what. Hey, thank you, Tyler, for the 100 bits. I think that's one of the things that a lot of modern writers fail at. Is a lot of modern writers, they not only want you to, you know, hear their story and hear their lesson they're trying to teach, but at the end, just in case, we're gonna now tell you what you need to think. So not only are we going to tell you the story, but at the end don't worry, at the end we'll tell you what you should have thought about it. And the thing is that most people don't like that. Most people are resistant to that. Even if the message is correct, even if the message is a good message, most people will resist being told what to do. It's just human nature. Most people will be like, no. You know, unless it's just like, unless it's in their best self, in their own self-interest to do so, most people will be like, no, I'm not going to listen to you because you're preaching to me. And I think a lot of writing fails these days because it is very preachy. Very preachy. Stand out on our front porch here and go, ah, look at the world. It's so beautiful. I'm doing good, Rob. I'm doing good. Yeah, the Tolkien books, I love those too. They're a lot though. I tried to read them when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I was able to get through Fellowship no problem. But man, Two Towers was kind of a slog, and then once I hit Lord of the Rings, I was like, yeah, this is a little beyond me. A little beyond my abilities. Yeah, let's get the birch bark done. Too many sci-fi writers and coming from soaps and drama shows can't keep a story arc going for more than a few episodes. But most under 25 don't have a long attention span. Yeah, that's true. The game Icarus has a whole reason I subbed to you. That's 3 years ago, 5 months. I said it before, down to earth and all around good person. Aww. You're very kind, Cake Pirate. That's very nice of you to say. Well, and I think a lot of it too, I mean, a lot of it too comes to the point that we always like a little bit of, we always, you know, as humans, we always like a little bit of sexual tensions in our shows, but they've always, a lot of the writers coming from the soaps and dramas and stuff, they just want to infuse so much of that into the show. You look at like Star Trek. Yes, there was some, you know, there was romance. There's a little bit of romance in it, a little bit of Captain Picard going after the gals and stuff. But there wasn't like the show was not centered around that drama. That was a sidebar to what was happening in the stories that were going on. Nowadays, a lot of the shows center around that love drama, and the sci-fi is just kind of like pushed to the back shelf. You know, it's not as prominent in it. Yeah, on the sidebar, it's not bad. I mean, you know, you like seeing the tension between Troy and Riker, knowing that they sort of had a past. You know, there was always that little bit of tension between them, that they had that past. But we knew that it was like, okay, that's just part of their character. You know, that makes it interesting. You know, but you could imagine if they made Next Generation today. Could you imagine how much they'd go into the whole? Well, we got to ship Deanna Troi and Riker, and we got to make whole story arcs all around. Will they? Won't they? You know, it'd be like it'd be all about that, and that would be. And that's what's wrong with it, is that it shouldn't be all about that. That's fine for secondary stuff, but it doesn't need to be the primary drive of the show at all. Babylon 5 still best. Babylon 5 is great. Read The Hobbit in high school as a class assignment, then asked the teacher if I could borrow the trilogy and finish them before most of the class finished The Hobbit. I was horrible at that in high school too. The teacher would ask us to read like 2 chapters, and I'd be like, 2? That's all? I want to read. I just want to finish the book. All right, let's go check the rabbit traps. Hey, bad boy gamer. Well, I hope the procedure goes well for you, man. Hope it goes good there, buddy. Well, yeah, that's the thing, Keg, is that overall they've just lost the ability to tell good stories. And there's a multitude of reasons they don't tell good stories. There's lots of them. And you know, and some of it comes off as, you know, so-called woke, but I think a lot of it is just they write what they know. And what they know is what they grew up with. And what they grew up with is what they were taught in schools. And what they were taught in schools was a lot of propaganda. And a lot of just not real life. You know, the whole every villain is a sympathetic creature and every hero is flawed. That's the whole premise that I just really hate anymore. Is the whole nihilistic, you know, non-idealized heroes and villains. It's just kind of annoying more than anything. Quantum Leap and Farscape. Oh, Quantum Leap was great. And Quantum Leap, you look at Quantum Leap. If you want to look at a show that had a message all the time, look at Quantum Leap. But Quantum Leap never beat you over the head with a message. Quantum Leap presented you a show that presented you a scenario that Sam was caught up in, where he had to right some sort of wrong. And I mean, I remember the episode where he leaped into the Kennedy assassination, and at first he thought he had to save Kennedy, but I think he had to save his wife instead. He had to save Jackie instead, or something like that, because they were trying because I think that's how it went. It was wild. It was like, what the heck is going on? But Quantum Leap did a great job with it. I mean, they presented you with moral issues, and they left it kind of you know, up to you, you know, how to think about it. Now later on, the series did go a little weird when they introduced. Remember that Halloween episode where they introduced the devil, and then it kind of went off the rails at that point. I think they were kind of grasping at straws, but for a long while, Quantum Leap was a really good show. Really, really good show. And they tackled everything from racism to you know, Down syndrome to you know, all they tackled all sorts of stuff in that. They tackled women in the workforce. You know, when Sam would leap into a gal and he'd have to deal with the pigs in the office, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, they dealt with a lot of stuff. Babylon 5 is about to get a reboot. Hope it goes the route of Battlestar Galactica reboot. Yeah, hopefully it does. I mean, we'll see if the reboot does good or not. There's a lot of Speculation will do okay, but, you know, you never know. You never know until it's actually being done. All right, we got lots of good meat here. I like that. I like all the meat we have here. That makes me happy. I think we do. Okay, we got a couple liters of water here as well. Perfect. What are we taking wood-wise? We got a couple cedars on us. Let's see. We got 6 cedar in here. I think I'm going to leave my cedar behind. Take more of my sticks with me. I think I will take 1 piece of that coal with me as well. I'm happy with my meat. I am. You know, you got to be happy with your meat sometimes, Bavella. The Supernatural TV series. Supernatural was good back when it was more Monster of the Week. Supernatural for me kind of fell off when it got into the long season arc. You know, after Sam and Dean died for like the 5th time and went to hell and came back, I just kind of lost interest in the show. But the first like 5 seasons of Supernatural, pretty damn solid. Pretty damn solid. Again, it was a show that outlived its need. It outlived itself. The Monster of the Week stuff was the best with Supernatural. So, oh, Dean Stockwell, he's great in everything. He was great in Babylon 5 or in Battlestar Galactica too. He was great in BSG as what was his Calvin? COVID? No, that's not right. What was his character in BSG? It started with a C. We'll just call him COVID because he was kind of toxic. Grimm was a good show. I liked the first couple seasons of Grimm. I watched those. They were pretty good. Yeah, I forget what his name was. Does anybody know what his name was in that show? You can Google it if you want.
Can't feel my hands.
The wolf over there. I don't think he's a Timberwolf this time. There were Timberwolves here before. Supernatural's still in my hometown. I'll have a special place in my heart. I love Supernatural. Dean and Moose were great. Dean and Sam were just fantastic in that show. Oh, did we just find it? We just found the burdock. He's really good playing the Doctor in Dune. Yeah, he played the original Dr. Yuri in Dune. Yep, he was really good at that. Oh boy, I think can we make the I think we can. We need 2. I know we need 2 burdock root per. I think we need 2 burdock root per prepper's pie. We need the salt, the cooking oil, mushrooms. Yeah, we got everything we need now. You have any plan or idea when I'll play No Man's Sky next time? And would you be fine with neighbors in your system? If yes, open photo mode so we can see your portal address at the bottom left corner. Yeah, I'm going to play some more No Man's Sky next week. I don't know exactly when. I was going to play it Wednesday, but yesterday I got busy getting my car over to the mechanic. I spent pretty much all day just trying to wrangle to get somebody to give me a ride over there, follow me over there to give me a ride home. And it pretty much took all day to get that arranged. But I do plan on playing it next week, yes. And when you're in chat during it, let me know how to do that. I don't know how to do that, so. I don't know how. Come here, Mr. Mr. Ozzy! Oh, I almost had him. I almost had him on the bounce. Oh, well. Mr. Ozzy with the 11-person raid. Thank you so much for the raid there. There we go. We'll give a little... We playing Long Dark all stream? No, we'll be doing a little bit of 7 days here in about an hour or so. I got 7 days for about... I got this for about another hour. About 7 days for another 3 hours after that. And then my mom's coming over because I'm borrowing her car to get to work tonight. And so she's coming and grabbing me, and then we're going to go have dinner together, and then I'm heading out, so. And then tomorrow we will only be doing Long Dark, starting at about noon, and we will be going for about 4 hours. Because I got to go into work early tomorrow, so we're going to go from about noon to 4 tomorrow, and then I'll be heading into work from there, so. But yeah, No Man's Sky, I do plan to play again. I do want to play some more of it. I've been quite enjoying some No Man's Sky. There's a lot of quests to do. But we got stuff, we got stuff and things happening, so. Hey, I'll be the one. How you doing? Thank you for the $20 super chat. Holy crap, saying hi, Atheenon. What is your strategy of dealing with scurvy? I'm nomadic with every 15 and 20 days going to regions that have fish and just eat fish. MRE saved at no fish places in case of emergencies. Stalker run is day 591. Holy crap, you're almost at 600 days. Very cool. Pretty much that's my strategy of dealing with it as well. I try to stockpile cattails wherever I can, and I try to get fish whenever I can as well. Fishing has definitely become way more important in the game than it ever has been before. Because that is really your late game source of vitamin C. Because you're gonna be out of everything, cattails and all that stuff late in the game. So yeah, definitely fishing is what I've been doing too. That's pretty much the short answer is yes. You're doing exactly what I do. Fish, fish, fish. Alright, I got no more left. Nice. But thank you again for the super chat there. I really appreciate that. But yeah, fish up a storm. That's what you want to do. God, I want to kind of break down this cedar out here. Or this fir. Do we have any limbs that are close to each other? I know, Rob. It's different now that we've switched our clocks ahead, isn't it? Yeah, most of the logs are kind of out of the way. We don't have a lot of fuel on us. Let's just start a little fire here. We need to make some water anyway. Heard on the news Amazon is doing end-of-shift search for stolen items. They've always done that. Have I played this War of Mine? Yes, I have. Yep. Yep, I have played this War of Mine. I'm not big into the side-scrollers, Ranson. The side-scrollers, I've just not... My brain just can't... They're like isometric view. My brain can't wrap around it very easily. How cold are we out here? -16. Let's get... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That'll put us at 20 degrees. That's good enough. But yeah, I have played this War of Mine. It's quite an interesting game, to be honest. It's very interesting, as a matter of fact. Oh, God, it takes a hatchet to break that down. I should have looked at that before. It's one of those ginormous fir limbs. It takes a hatchet to break down. Son of a biscuit.
So cold.
I should have looked at that before. That's my bad. I was all excited because I was like, hey, it's a fir limb I can cut down. Yeah, that's my bad. But yeah, Amazon's pretty much they have screens that they always screen us when we go out.
That's why you have to have a clear You have to have a clear backpack. You can't take a non-clear backpack or bag into the facility. It has to be clear to go in or to go out. And then they have whatchamacallit. They have the machines that tell if you have metal detectors. God damn it, I couldn't remember what the word was. Metal detectors. They got metal detectors on our way out as well. So we got metal detectors on our way out, as well as we can't have anything but clear bags. So they've always kind of done that kind of security. Now they may be stepping it up. There may have been an incident that I haven't heard about that's making them step that activity up. That could be. But I haven't heard of it, so. But then again, I haven't been there since Monday, so. But yeah, this War of Mine's pretty fun. It's kind of depressing. And I'm not very good at this War of Mine, Ranson. I'm not very good at it. The side-scrolling thing and trying to fight, if there was no combat in it, I'd probably like it a whole lot more, but I just can't get into the combat in it. For me, the combat just does not work at all. And my little brain just can't handle it. Alright, all the teas are cooked up. Good. How long are we in Timberwolf Mountain now? We are 16 days. And it is quite depressing. Yeah, it is pretty depressing. Heard you had to register your personal phone as well. I've not seen any stuff on that. I've seen nothing on that, Kenneth. Now maybe that is something in the in certain areas, but not here. No. No, there's nothing about it on the homepage. Nope, you can always take your phone in.
Not sure why I feel so tired.
Will you eventually quit Amazon? I suspect Canada will be getting rid of Amazon in the near future. Do you think the site in Oregon will remain open? Yeah, I don't see Amazon going anywhere. Canada can get rid of Amazon. It doesn't matter. Amazon will still be around. I don't see Amazon going anywhere. %95 of Amazon theft is courier and porch pirates. Yeah, I don't think Amazon's going anywhere. They got quite the operation going on. It's sort of like saying eBay is going to go away. You know? eBay is still around. It's not as what it used to be, but eBay is still there. Let's just get a little more water cooked up, because why not? Oh, our fire just died. That's not good. We do need water in our belly, though, too, so let's do that. Last episode of Quantum Leap's my favorite. Sam loves Al so much, he's willing to race their timeline together so Al can be with Beth. Al returns to Beth, has 4 daughters. Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty wild. That was pretty wild, I'll be the one. It was a very odd way to end the series, you know? But it was kind of cool at the same time. But yeah, no, I don't think Amazon's going anywhere. Ugh. Why is Canada getting rid of Amazon? Just curious. Or why are they saying anyway? Amazon's closing all of its Quebec operations. Well, that's Amazon closing them. Probably something happened there where they don't want to deal with Canada anymore. Would be my guess. Amazon's done that in a bunch of places. Amazon's like, oh, you aren't going to treat us nice? Well, we're just going to leave. Have fun. It's still going to serve customers in the province, but it's going back to its pre-2020 operational model. Which means probably more business for us in the States. So, that's okay. Close all 7 Quebec facilities, including 1 fulfillment center and 2 sorting centers, 3 delivery stations, and 1 AMXL facility over the next 2 months. Sad for those 1,700 permanent full-time jobs. That sucks.
Damn, that smarts. I'm so tired. I could just lay down right here.
Oh, that's because people unionized at Amazon. I got it. The decision to close has been linked to the recent unionization of about 300 employees in Quebec. That's what it is. That makes sense. That's called F around and find out. Just know a lot of Canadians are boycotting American brands, including Amazon. Yeah, that won't make a difference. That won't make a difference. Lots of people big mad out there about a lot of things. Virtuous pre-2020 operational models packages will be prepared in facilities in neighboring provinces and then delivered to Quebec by third-party delivery companies. Yeah, I figured that's probably what they were doing. Described Amazon's premier François. I'm gonna screw his name up. François Legault said that described Amazon's move as a private decision by a private company. Well, yeah, I mean it is. So it doesn't sound like Canada was kicking him out. It sounds like they decided to leave. So some Quebecers, is that what they are? Are you Quebecers? Yeah, good luck boycotting Amazon. I'm sorry to say, Amazon's it's too big. I mean, you know, it's good on you, and stick to your morals, stick to your guns, and do what you need to do. But bottom line, it's not going to hurt Amazon. A boycott only works if there's a big enough groundswell of people to make a difference on it. And honestly, one province in Canada boycotting Amazon is not going to make that much of a difference worldwide. Now, if all of Canada and half the United States boycotted Amazon, it would totally work out great. It would make a difference. But one province boycotting, and of that province, how many people do you think are actually going to boycott them? It's maybe going to be half at best. If you say half, even say 3/4 of the people boycott Amazon, there's still 1/4 of the people using it. Boycotts, in my opinion, you know, they're fine and dandy, but, you know, I always believe people should always vote with their pocketbook. Using your pocketbook is the best thing to do. Now, for me, saying, hey, I'm going to boycott Amazon wouldn't make a whole lot of difference, because you know how much stuff I buy from Amazon? I maybe buy like 5 things in a year. So yes, I'm going to boycott Amazon. There we go. I'm boycotting Amazon, boys and girls. I'm not going to buy anything else from them. Those 5 items I buy from them a year, I'm not going to do it now. So yeah, boycotts work if there's enough people behind them. Unfortunately, I don't think there's enough people behind it to make it work. But you never know. I mean, I could be completely wrong. I'm wrong 90% of the time. Just ask my wife. Ask my ex-wife. I was talking about all of Canada. You wait and see. Yeah, Canada, I hate to break it to you, but Canada is not an economic powerhouse. I hate to break it to you, but Canada's not an economic powerhouse. It maybe will hurt them a little bit, but all it's going to do is put Canadians out of work. Nothing's going to change here in the States. A bunch of Canadians will lose their jobs, and they already have. 1,700 Canadians have now lost their jobs. But it's not going to affect. It's not going to affect any. It's not going to globally or here in the States. It's not going to affect anything. It's nice to think you will, but it's not. It's not going to affect anything. It may be a little blip, but it's a road bump on their map. It really truly is. But then again, I could be wrong. Maybe it'll be such a groundswell of support for it that, you know, it'll make a difference. You never know. I don't think it will, but maybe it will. I don't think it will. Let's just leave like 31 here. There we go. Can you give a rough direction from Mountaineer's Hut to the Prepper's Cache? I missed it earlier because I was AFK. So basically, Bavella, if you go out of the Mountaineer's Hut, you know where there is the Cougar area. You know the Cougar area that's over here. And then there's the wing that has the boxes by it that you can get open, and you can get like coffee and tea out of those two boxes. It's up past the bear cave. The bear cave's like right in here. And if you walk far enough this way, you'll get to the forest cave. So if you walk up that way and you take a left at those boxes that you get to that, and you go to the left there. You'll go across the log bridge, and then right up from that log bridge is the Prepper's Cache. Oh, it's of course there's a. I was like, I'll go show you where the log bridge is, but no. That's not going to happen. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's sort of the way we get there. That's sort of the way that we get up to that. Do we have anything to do while the storm's brewing? Not much to do while the storm's brewing out there, dang it. I got burdock root now, so now we can actually make the Prepper's Pies. I could make one, because I have acorn grounds, I have mushrooms back at home, I got water, cooking oil, and salt. Luckily, we don't need any flour for it. That's great. That's great. So luckily, we don't need much of that. Yeah, Amazon, yeah, it's the Chinese, the tariffs with China are going to be interesting to see how that affects Amazon a whole lot. I mean, we're still getting in tons of product, so... We're still getting in tons and tons of stuff as it is. Let's drink down a little tea here. Yum, yum. But we'll see, we'll see down the road what happens. It's above my pay grade, that's for sure. But yeah, you do have other Canadian shipping options there too. That is true, Marley. And I would highly encourage people, if they feel strongly about it, use those. Make sure you use those, and always take your money, even if you don't think you're going to make a difference with it. Always take your money and spend it where you want to spend it. And if you don't feel good spending something with somebody, I'd say don't spend it with them. If a company messes with you, or corporation or whatever, try to find alternatives to buy stuff, that doesn't include them. Because the dollar is your biggest power. I mean, you look at what that's done to Disney. You look at what that's done with some video games that people haven't been very appreciative about. It's basically tanked those. It's tanked studios. I mean, why do you think Ubisoft had to sell off? I mean, they were already on the way out with all the failures they've had lately. And even though Assassin's Creed Shadows made them a little bit of money, I think all that was doing for them is pumping up their IP a little bit so they could sell to Tencent and get a little bit better deal off of it. Because Assassin's Creed Shadows has not done anything like it should. all you got to do is go look at the number of people playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. And that was a AAA $70, $80, $90 game, and compare it to a game like Schedule 1. Look at the player base between those two, and you'll see which game was popular and which game wasn't popular. Not that there wasn't some people who liked Assassin's Creed Shadows. There probably were. There's always people who like anything. But the mass appeal is definitely there with Schedule 1. A game where you're literally a drug dealer. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it, right? Who would have thunk it? A game where you ride around on a skateboard and sell drugs to people would be more popular than AAA games coming out. But I think in a large part, you know, the AAA, the day of the time of the AAA games is slowly coming to a close. The time of indie games is really coming back, and I think a lot of that's going to be price driven. Will I continue to play Schedule 1 in light of the tariffs? Yes, I will. I think indie games are really going to come into their own. You know, you look at games that are not AAA games that are really good, that you know have one developer, you know, that have a small budget. I think it's a combination of people are tired of a lot of the AAA slop that they put out with all the microtransactions and all this sort of stuff. They just want to buy a game and play a game. And if it's a free game or a very cheap game, they don't mind microtransactions. But when you're paying $70, $80, $90 for a game, and then it has microtransactions in it on top of that, a lot of people are like, you know, that just sucks. And that wears on people after a while. People will put up with it for a little while, but then it just wears on them. Even to the point where I saw in the, was it in the European Union? They did something against they had some legislation they handed down against microtransactions or something, where they can't. It's not like they can't do them, but they can't, like, they have to do it in a more upfront kind of way. Where when you see, oh, this item costs 1,500 splotchy coins, they have to put by that, oh, by the way, that translates to X number of real dollars in real life. Which I think they should have to do all along anyway. I think they should have always had to do that. I think that's just so misleading, where they don't have the price for those right next to the you know, what are you spending in real dollars on this thing? All right, let's go see if we can get some. Let's go see if we can get some cedars. Consoles, yeah, consoles are getting really expensive. And when is Hinterland increasing tariffs on the long dark trade is going to be more expensive for Americans? Nice. I don't know when they're doing that, Redacted. That would be quite the DLC, wouldn't it? That'd be an interesting DLC to have. I think pricing is definitely going to be one of those things where they're going to price themselves out of the market, because although I believe that, yes, video games are costing more to make, and that's just a, you know, reality. Games, people can only buy, a large number of people only have enough money in their budget to buy a certain number of $80 games in a year. And you're not going to be able to sell more than that amount to people, no matter what the game is. And because, you know, money's tough on everybody right now. Money, you know, it's not fat times out there for cash. And yes, I think that video games are a little bit underpriced if you take into account of inflation and stuff. Things are a little underpriced if you take inflation into account. But at the same time, we don't care. We're willing to spend, I'm willing to spend money on video games, but at the same time, I can find really fun games to play out there for 20, 30 bucks. And I can also look at games that are $80, $90 and go, well, am I going to get... I could buy 2 games that are really fun for that price, or I could buy the 1 game. And a lot of times I'll go, well, I'll buy the 1 game, and it's probably going to be just as good as the one, you know, I'll probably buy the couple of games because the 1 game might just be just as good as the, you know, $80 game that I'm going to buy. It's kind of a toss-up when it comes down to it, because sometimes they... Oh, shoot. Is it getting windy right now? You can put an American price tag for the game. Thank you so much for the beautiful resub there. And we got a storm coming up.
Stoolage just resubscribed for 66 months. 66 months of not giving a crap what Canada thinks of me. Oops. Did I say that? Day 5139.
Oh, they still haven't renamed it yet? Aw. And I think that they will still sell games at $80, $90. You know, they put the $80, $90 price tag on stuff. You know, people will still buy them, just not as many people as would buy them otherwise. You know, and then people will wait for them to go on sale and stuff, but it'll definitely lower the number of people who buy the stuff. Well, and that's the thing too. The games that are 20, 30, even $40 are they're a lot smaller devs. They aren't tied to a big corporation for the most part. And I feel a lot of times the smaller devs, they're a lot the games they put out, there's a lot more passion in them as far as, like, you know, they aren't just trying to put out a product to make money. Which there's nothing wrong with putting out a product to make money. Everybody wants, you know, everybody would like their product to make money if it can. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think a lot of times the big corps kind of lose their way, and they go, okay, well, how do we make more money on this? How do we make more money on this? And a lot of the answers are, let's put microtransactions into everything. And I think the era of microtransactions isn't over, but I think it's getting close to where a lot of people are starting to have I'm done with microtransactions type sentiment. There will always be some people out there who love the microtransactions and who eat them up and who have lots of disposable income for them. And I don't blame them. If you go to work, I saw, what was it? I think it was a Viva La Dirt skit where the one guy just bought like all the really good gear, and she's like, well, what did you do to earn that gear? And he's like, well, let me see. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. I went into work and worked 10 hours to make this thing called money so that I could have disposable income. And I want to spend my disposable income on getting some stuff in a game that I enjoy playing for fun, and I don't want to just have to grind to get that gear. And, you know, that's what it comes down to. Is like, you know, some people don't have the time or don't want to grind for certain things, and there's nothing wrong with that. They've earned the money to get it. Now, when it comes to kids buying that stuff, there needs to be a major overhaul, because a lot of the microtransactions are very predatory towards children. And then they get mom's credit card or something like that. And then, you know, there's been stuff where kids have charged thousands of dollars of their parents' credit cards on, you know, microtransactions and stuff. So that needs to be regulated way more. Because I do believe that a lot of companies are predatory towards children on that stuff. And they specifically go after kids. So that, I think, needs to be looked into a lot more, but I don't think microtransactions on the face of them are a bad thing. I just would not. I don't mind them in games that are really cheap or that are free, because I know a free game, you're the product. They're either selling your information or they want you to buy microtransactions from them, because nothing is free. Nobody makes a game for free. Let's put a liter in there and half a liter in there. Let's get the gut out of this dude. 28 minutes. Let's do 28 minutes. Oh, really? The fire burned out? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Okay, never mind. Let's pick it up. I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. I'm not gonna get sad about it. And I do like supporting the smaller devs as well. I think the smaller devs, Robstar, is where most of the creativity is these days. Even a game like we played last week, the Slay the Spy or Slay the Princess. Slay the Princess was a really fun game, and that's just a small little indie dev that made that game. And that I thought was a very ingenious game. It was interesting. It was engaging. Am I streaming Schedule 1? No, I'm not streaming Schedule 1. Nope, I'm not streaming any Schedule 1. I think it's hilarious though how Schedule 1 has taken off like it has. I mean, it's become huge. Schedule 1 is just it's another simulator game. It's a drug dealer simulator. And it's interesting, but I don't want to play it. I don't really want to play it. Applaud the guys who made it though, because man, they came up with a very interesting game that actually is taking the country by storm. I think Schedule 1 usually has like 200,000 to 300,000 players in it at a time. You paid nearly $80 for N64 games in the late 90s. Well, and that's the thing too, is that you know, I see the reason why they want to raise the price of video games. There's a psychological barrier to people buying games at higher prices than they are right now. They kind of get around that psychological barrier by doing a lot of the early access things. They do a lot of the, you know, early access where you pay $10 extra and you get the game 5 days earlier than everybody else, that sort of stuff. And they do a lot of the you know, really good, you know, like super high editions where you get like extra cool things with it. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the game of the year for you, Uncle Trevor. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've heard Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is really, really good. So you're playing AC Shadows right now, Gaming Charlie, best one since Odyssey. Yeah, you know, I played Assassin's Creed. I really liked Assassin's Creed. I never got into the franchise though. But then again, I was never a console guy. And back then Assassin's Creed was pretty much only on console. But I played Assassin's Creed. I thought that was a really fun game. I played a little bit of Odyssey. It just got there was just, it got too RPG. It got, I don't know. I think in some ways it just got a little bloated for me. There was just too much to do in the game. There's a fine balance, I think, with games between having enough to do to keep people interested and having so much to do that the game feels a little bit overwhelming. I think in some ways, No Man's Sky for a new player feels very much that way. Because there's just so much going on. There's so many quests and side quests and adventures and different things to do. There's just so many things to do in that game that it almost feels, it's not bloat, but it's just like super heavy. There's just tons and tons to do, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's a good thing to have stuff to do in your game, but sometimes it can be a little bit, it can throw off new players a little bit. And that's sort of how I felt with this Assassin's Creed. I think it was Odyssey that I played. Is the one set in the Egyptian times. I just wasn't as inspired with that one as I was with the old Assassin's Creed. The old Ezio. Hey, I'm that girl. How you doing? So yeah, I wasn't as inspired with those. So now we have officially spent 17 days in the zone. Yay. We're making it, boys and girls. It's nighttime and time to sleep, and I'm already yawning. Oh yeah, and that is a true thing too. Is gaming was a very niche thing that most people were into. Gaming was not popular back then. Gaming didn't really gain popularity until what, like 2005, 2008, 9, probably the early 2010s. Gaming really started to take off. Before then, even, EverQuest and WoW, those were very niche things. Those people were weirdos back then. We were all weirdos because we didn't, What I find funny today is the people who are like, you need to stop gaming and get out and do something. And it's like, okay, well then I'll do that as soon as you stop. I'll do that as soon as you stop scrolling on TikTok and watching television. How's that sound? What was this I just got? I got some sort of message. I got a message. I'll take it offline. I'll take it on my other computer. I was invited to join a Steam playtest. I am still weird gaming, Charlie? Well, yes, I am. I was invited to start a Steam. What is this? What is this? I'm so confused right now. Oh, it's a game that's coming out. Oh, I see. It's an early access shooter. Yeah, I'm good. I appreciate the offer, but it's a shooter game. I'm not a big shooter. It's a multiplayer shooter game. Nah, I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. It's not my speed. Gaming in the 90s was not niche. Well, it kind of was. Well, I'm Marley redacted. I'm talking in general. You're specific. I'm not talking about your specific family or situations. In general, gaming was pretty niche all the way through the 80s and the 90s into the 2000s. It started becoming more popularized in the 90s and into the 2000s. With the console gaming became a little more popularized, but gaming was not like a big thing. Yeah, it was pretty niche. There was not a lot of people doing it. I mean, in the 80s, it was definitely niche in the 80s. I think in the 90s, it started being a little more accepted, but it was, you know, it was NES. Every kid was playing NES back then. And I hate to say it, but I don't look at that as... I'm going to get myself in a whole lot of trouble. For me, NES was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of gaming. It's kind of gaming. See, back then I was still an arcade rat back then. For me, I will admit I look down my nose at console players because I'm like, arcade games are where it's really at. Those are true gamers. See how your own prejudice like plays into things? But see, but you got to remember, Stooley, I always looked at console gamers as a little bit less than arcade gamers. And that may be a better way of putting it, but Vela sort of hit it on the head. Gaming for adults was not as mainstream as it was today. That is true. Gaming for adults was not as mainstream. Gaming for kids was pretty mainstream. Gaming for kids became a lot more. But then again, I think gaming for kids has always been mainstream. Even going back into the 80s, you know, arcades were a big thing. But I think that's a bit. I was thinking of it in that way, but I wasn't articulating it in that way very well. There was a lot of kids who played video games, but adults didn't really. And see, that's for me where I drew the line in the 90s. I was an adult in the 90s. I was in my 20s in the 90s. I played arcade games. And I thought that was pretty niche to have adults like me playing arcade games. So you got to remember, I'm looking at it from a completely different perspective because in the 90s, I was an adult. Playing games as an adult in the 90s was not a very common thing. 99% of the people we sold Nintendo games to were like 15 and under. They were not adults. There was very few adults we sold games to, other than we sold a few Tetrises to adults. There was a couple games that were more adult based, but most of it wasn't to adults back then. It was mostly kids. No rabbits at all. None at all. Makes me sad. We'll have to go up and see if we can chase another deer. The 90s was a long time ago, like 12 years or so. Even when I started playing EverQuest in 99, it was a weird thing that I, as an adult, was playing a online video game. That I was playing an online video game was very odd to most people.
Can't feel my feet.
Yeah, well, I can't feel my brain most of the time, so. Wonder Boy was always my favorite arcade game. Oh, the 90s were great. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff in the 90s. Well, people were even more normal in the 80s. The 80s and 90s were our last couple great decades we had.
Never felt so cold in my life.
The early 2000s weren't bad either. Oh, of course I just split my ankle open. The early 2000s weren't bad either. You know, it was all pretty good till about 2000, I don't know, 2010 or so. 2010, 2011. What I find hilarious right now is all the people who are who were, I'm sure, back in the 2000s, the 2000 times, were the Occupy Wall Street, we need to bring down Wall Street people, are the same ones whining and crying that the stock market's going down. It's like, oh, how times have changed. Now everybody's concerned about the stock market. It's like, yeah, yeah. Okay, whatever. You didn't seem to care about it back in the early 2000s when you wanted to burn Occupy Wall Street was a big thing. Some of you may not remember Occupy Wall Street. It was huge. It was huge. They shut down city blocks over it. It was cray-cray how big that was. And now those same people are crying about, you know, about Wall Street going down. You miss the times when people weren't celebrated for being insane. Well, you know, I've always believed, you know, Stooley, just live and let live. Let people be who they want to be. If they're an adult and they are, you know, and they aren't hurting anybody else or causing problems, just let people be people. It doesn't. Oh, jeez. What does it hurt you to let people just be people? I mean, nothing an individual does really ever bothers me unless it's hurting somebody else. You know, once you start hurting somebody else or hurting kids, then I take offense to it. But, you know, as long as you're just minding your own business and you're just doing your own thing, what do I care? Doesn't affect me none. But it definitely in the 2000s, it really became, not only do you have to let me be, but now you have to celebrate my whatever it is, you know? You got to be all for me, and you got to come out and say you're for me, because if you don't, you're going to be canceled, you know? And I think that's where a lot of stuff went wrong, is when people started fearing the mob. But that was also a lot of the rise of social media and stuff like that. And it was so new, people didn't know all you had to do was go, I don't care. My life won't change one bit if I care or don't care. So I don't care. I want both those cedars. I want both those cedars right there. Both of those cedars are mine. Oh, I need a torch. I need a torch. By the 2000s, I was 40-something, working my ass off. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was hitting my 30s and working my ass off. I didn't have time for a lot of it. Connecting mentally ill people with other mentally ill people is a terrible idea. Yeah, I don't even know if they're mentally ill as much as that. You know, ideas sometimes get almost spread like a virus, in a way. And a lot of... Hey, excuse you, Mr. Wolf. Excuse you, my friend. And sometimes you get groups of people together who all sort of have a little bit of a... I think what happens is a couple of things. People love to get confirmation bias on what they're thinking. How are things in my job? Things are going good. Things are going good. People like confirmation bias where they feel like, you know, whatever they're feeling is being, you know, affirmed or being, you know, validated. So they do like that quite a bit. And I think the more you get people together who have the same ideas without, you know, sort of getting that echo chamber type thing, you get people together like that are all in that same echo chamber, it can be kind of dangerous, because I think that's when people kind of like go off the deep end. And they get very tribal. And start having, you know, they kind of like go, well, if you aren't part of our group, then you aren't a good person anymore. And it's like, yeah, come on. People don't have to agree with 100% of what you say just to be part of your, you know, to be a good person. But how you doing, Gabriel? Hello. Can't we all just get along? That's what it comes down to. Can't we all just freaking get along? Is it that freaking hard? Just to not be a dick to other people. There's my motto. Don't be a dick. We're having a great day, Gabrielle. We're having a great day. If they're causing problems, then you got to deal with it. But that's the thing, Marley. People causing problems always have had to be dealt with in society. We got to always deal with problems, you know. That is for sure. You can't just let people run wild. Then we'd have like Girls Gone Wild. Hey now. Remember when that was a thing? Hey, we got another rabbit. Hey, we're catching rabbits now, baby. We're snaring them like crazy. The rabbits are just jumping into our traps. They're like, yay, yay, yay. Well, and that is the dichotomy of society today, is that a lot of people preach that you can be whatever you want to be, but you better not disagree with with me, because then you can't be that. You can be anything you want to be as long as you agree with my opinion. And it's like, well, that doesn't quite work. And then there's old farts like me that are like, yeah, that don't work for me. It worked for a little while, and I put up with it for a little while, but we're sort of at the end of our rope of putting up with that. Now we're like, yeah, nah. We're good. We're old. We're gonna die before you can do anything to us anyway. Oh, the rabbit meats are so beautiful. It's kind of getting late in the day, though, ain't it? I did get those cedars down, though, so that's nice. Oh, I just threw my coal in there. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, that makes me sad. I threw my coal in there. I didn't mean to throw my coal in there. I meant to throw sticks in there. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm gonna pay for that later on. I just know it. Hey, I'm gonna be 55 in a little less than 2 weeks now. And that allows me to call myself an old fart now. I'm gonna be ready to join AARP. I'm gonna be ready to go in and go, give me my senior discount. Do I get 10% off? I want 10%. 10% off is a good deal. You turned 67 in May? Well, you're a little older than I am. You got a few years on me there, for sure. Exactly, Gabriel. See, we're all old farts. We remember those days. Remember the good old days. The thing is, though, you look back and, yeah, we look at them as the good old days, and there were things that were good about them. There was also things that were bad. But as time moves on, we tend to forget the bad and remember the good. You know, it's just human nature to do that, to like block out some of the bad things and remember a lot of the good things. I think it helps us keep our sanity a little bit. You're a youthful exactly, Kenny. You're a youthful 46, man. I would love to be 46 again. I don't think I ever felt as good as I did in my 40s. I think my 40s were probably my prime. I mean, I felt better in my 40s than I did in my 30s, than I have in my 50s. Now that I'm 50, everything's just breaking down on me. My 40s, I was feeling good. When you reach the age of a life sentence is 15 years, better think twice about effing with a senior. Yeah. It's when it comes down to, I mean, one thing that keeps society polite in a lot of ways is that a lot of us have too much to lose by not being polite. And as you get older, you have less and less and less to lose by putting up with things that you would put up with in your 20s and 30s. You just don't have the patience for it anymore. When it comes right down to it. Back in the day, I wanted a new car. Now looking back, I want an old car. Yeah. A lot of the new cars are just garbage. A lot of the new cars are garbage. They're meant to break down. They're meant to last a certain amount of time and be done. Which is how most things are built these days. I still have a VCR from the 80s. It still works. It's still fine. You know how they all said, "Oh, your VCR tapes will only last 10 years and then they'll be dead. You'll never be able to use them again." I got VCR tapes that I recorded back in the 80s of Doctor Who that played just fine on my VCR. That's from the 80s. Now that's true. Now if you bought a new VCR or DVD player today, it's guaranteed to break down in 2 to 3 years if it lasts that long. It's all engineered to break down because they want you to buy another one. Or back in the day, stuff lasted for a long time. My mom still has the same refrigerator she bought in like 1977. That thing has lasted forever. You buy a fridge today, you're lucky if it lasts 4 or 5 years. They don't want long-term durable goods out on the market. Long-term durable goods do not do their profit making any good. As with most things, follow the money. You follow the money and most truths will be revealed to you. Because the same thing that ruled the world 1,000 years ago rules the world today. Money, sex, and power. Those are the 3 main driving factors of most people in the world. It's sad to say, but that's, the truth don't care about your feelings. And those 3 things, if you follow those, you'll find that one of those 3 is usually at the root of what most people do. And money tends to be one of the big ones because money can lend itself to power. Money and power have kind of become there's pure power, and then money has become sort of its own power lately. And then sex has been linked to money as well. I mean, look at all the people who have, OFs and make millions of dollars off them. It's the logical conclusion to the old school, best little hoe house in Texas. Who-aws. It's the 2025 version of that. Back in the day, you had to go to Nevada and you had to go to the back room of the video store to get that sort of material. Now you just go online and you pay some chick on there for a girlfriend experience, which I don't quite get, but hey, it's a cheaper escort service. Almost all the DVDs they sell at Walmart these days are old TV series complete season box sets. Oh yeah. Well, that stuff is what people are really excited to get. People really want to get that stuff, Kenneth, because that stuff's fun. That stuff's fun. It was fun back in the day. I think that's one thing. We had a lot more fun back in the day. I really think we did. I think we had a lot more fun back in the 80s and 90s. A lot more fun. And lately, things have gotten a little more, little less fun. We had a lot of fun back then. I think the big thing is we also knew how to laugh at ourselves. Everybody laughed at themselves. Everybody poked fun at each other. Everybody had a thicker skin. We just knew how to laugh at ourselves and like take a joke and not take it personally. So it's a little different time for sure. Anyway, speaking of different time, speaking of time, we do need to wrap up Long Dark today. We will be back playing Long Dark tomorrow at noon again, 3 Eastern. We will be going for 4 hours tomorrow because all we're going to play tomorrow is Long Dark. We did reach today, in all of our gabbing and talking, we have reached 19 days in the zone. We only need to last 31 more days here and we'll be good to go. I was thinking it was 20-some, but it's actually 30-some. So is it 20? No, it's 30. We need to last 30 more days, 31 more days. Did our 50-day goal in this zone, but we're doing pretty good. We've got a good supply of guts and hides now, which is nice. We probably need to throw those up on the wall at some point. We can get some more cedar firewood cut up. I do want to go over to the mine between here and Black Rock and basically loot it and get all the coal out of it that we can, because there's not a lot of coal available to us right now. And we do need to go into the mine between here and Ash Canyon again and see if we can pick up some coal in there. Because we don't have a lot of coal right now. In fact, I don't think we have any coal right now. So, I know, where'd the time go? 3 hours already. But we will be back. I'm going to be ending the YouTube side of the stream, but we'll be back on YouTube in about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to go take a potty break and grab some water or something to drink. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, all that good stuff. Call to actions at the end there. We got to do that. And hopefully I'll see you in a couple minutes for 7 Days to Die. If not, I'll see you tomorrow for some Long Dark, and looking forward to that quite a bit. Bye for now.